Hey guys, welcome back to another theHunter Call of the Wild video. Today we'll be talking about the new dev diary that was released today regarding the Bengal tigers. We also got to see a short video on the Expansive World channel where Arshak, the game designer, gives us some very interesting information about this fantastic new species. So let's take a look.
Hello, my name is Arshak. I am lead game designer on Call of the Wild. Today we're going to talk about the tiger and Sundarpatan hunting reserve. What makes the Bengal tiger special is its unique ambush and stalking mechanics. So if you choose to hunt where it lives, you have to be very careful of your surroundings, because all of a sudden you might hear a roar, and then you don't know from which angle it's going to attack. So true to nature, the Bengal tiger is going to be an elusive and rare animal, which will be an interesting challenge for all our players. When I say they're rare, I really mean it. There are actually very few of them on the map, and there's a big chance they find you before you find them. So if you're going to go hunting in tiger territory, let me give you a little tip. Bring your dog. Since the tiger is so important for Sundarpatan, it's also a catalyst for our story. The tiger's coming out with Sundarpatan, with a lot of other cool animals. I think it's really cool, and I hope you like it as well.
I'm honestly really glad that apparently the tigers are gonna have some very unique mechanics, because these guys are a very dangerous species in real life and they should definitely be dangerous in game. So the fact that they are gonna be able to stalk us and then attack us is really exciting. I can't wait to see if they are gonna kill us in just one hit like the lions. And Arshak mentioned something about hearing a roar when the tiger is about to attack you, or more like a growl. And I imagine that once you hear the growl, you're gonna have only a few seconds to realize where the tiger is before it launches its attack. So I wonder how many seconds are we gonna have to shoot it before it kills us. Well, in fact, we got to read some more information about this menacing growl on the dev diary they released today, and what they say is that one of the most terrifying aspects we incorporated is the Bengal tiger's sporadic growl when stalking you. And I can tell that what really makes this growl terrifying is the fact that unlike other animal calls in the game, this growl cannot be pinpointed by the player. You can hear it, but you can figure out where it's coming from. That is actually terrifying. I mean, what they say is that this growl acts as a warning, building tension just as in any good horror movie, because without this growl you would have no idea you were being stalked and then suddenly you would be dead. Which makes me think that these tigers are gonna kill us in just one hit, just as the lions, as I said. Now, another thing they mention inside this dev diary regarding the aggressivity of these Bengal tigers is that the Bengal tiger is by far the most aggressive animal they have created in the game. Unlike other animals, these guys don't follow a predictable path or pattern, and instead they adapt to your movements, silently shadowing you, waiting for the right moment to pounce. The tiger's behavior is designed to make you feel like prey, heightening the tension and immersing you in the raw primal fear of being hunted. One moment, you might catch a glimpse of their sleek, muscular body sleeping silently through the underbrush. The next, you might hear a low, menacing growl that sends shivers down your spine. And that is the moment when you know they are out there somewhere, hidden and waiting to kill you. Sounds exciting, don't you think? You know, they say that in tiger territory, the hunter truly becomes the hunted, and every encounter with the Bengal tiger is a test of your skill, patience and nerve. Now, something very important they mentioned about the tiger territory is that it encompasses 16 different home ranges that make up approximately half of the Nepal's reserve expanse. Each of these home ranges is a kingdom unto itself that is ruled by a single tiger fiercely guarding their domain against intruders. So what that means is that the tiger territory will be essentially divided in 16 sections, and each of those sections will have one tiger on it, making for 16 tigers in total on the whole reserve. You know, that may sound like a very low number if we consider that the reserve is huge, but we can't forget that these guys are gonna actively stalk us. And I imagine that if there were more than 16 tigers per reserve, the possibility of more than one tiger stalking you at the same time would become an issue. And also in real life, Bengal tigers are very rare, they are actually endangered, so it definitely makes sense for them to also be quite rare on this map. Another interesting thing they say inside this dev diary is that setting up the population of tigers was a challenging endeavor, and that they aim to strike the perfect balance between providing enough excitement without overwhelming the players with stress or leaving them bored. With one tiger per home range, totaling 16 in all, they believe that they found the optimal number. However, the truth lies in the many hours of gameplay ahead and the feedback from the players. I mean, what I understand from this is that while they think that 16 tigers per reserve is the optimal number, they are open to change it if the community thinks it is necessary, and that is definitely a good thing. Now, going over the last section of this Death Diary, we have what I'm pretty sure a lot of you were wanting to see, all the fur types that these tigers are gonna have. 7 rare, and 2 very rare fur variations. Holy! Look at this image. We have the common, we have another fur that I'm not sure what it is, I think it is called golden or something like that. Then we have the white one, or leucistic. Then we have what seems to be another leucistic variation, I imagine, but without the black stripes. You know, I did some research about these white tigers, and they are essentially a leucistic variant of the normal tiger, which has been reported in the wild from time to time in several Indian states. They are characterized for having the typical black stripes of a tiger, but the coat is otherwise white or near white, and they also have blue eyes. The reason why these white tigers have such a pale coloration is due to a lack of the red and yellow pheomelanin pigments that normally produce the characteristic orange coloration of the tigers, and something interesting is that when compared to the normal Bengal tigers, these white Bengal tigers tend to grow faster and become heavier than the orange ones. It is estimated that the unusual gene that produces the white coloring only happens naturally about once in every 10,000 birds, so they are very rare. And next to it, we have another 2 fur types that appear to be pseudo-melanistics. You know, the first one is barely presenting any signs of melanism, but you can clearly tell that the black stripes are a lot thicker than the stripes of the common. I mean, the difference is way more obvious on the second variant, since as you can see the back is completely dark, but there are still a few orange patches, especially around the face and on the legs. You know, in real life, the pseudo-melanistic tigers only exist on the Simlipal National Reserve located in India, and they belong to a unique lineage with higher than normal levels of melanin. These tigers are not entirely black, and therefore they are more accurately described as pseudo-melanistics instead of melanistics. Now, the next 2 variations, I imagine that if the last 2 were pseudo-melanistics, these are gonna be called something like pseudo-white melanistics, perhaps, because they seem to be a combination of the white fur type with the melanistic fur type. And just as the one combined with the common, there's gonna be a variation that is barely melanistic, and another variation where the difference is a lot more pronounced. I had no idea that this fur type was actually a real thing, but after doing my research, I found that the gene that causes the pseudomelanism is completely separate to the gene that causes the white fur type. So what this means is that in theory a white tiger can carry both the white gene as well as the melanistic gene, causing the pseudomelanistic white fur type to appear. So the question is, how rare these pseudomelanistics are gonna be? Are they gonna be similar in rarity to a piebald or maybe to a leucistic? Or are they gonna be closer to be as rare as the melas and the albinos? Honestly, their position on this image may give us a good idea of their rarity, because it would make sense for them to be rarer than the whites, but not as rare as the rarest rares. Now, as for the last 2 variants that we can see on this image, it is safe to assume that the first one is the albino and the one next to it is the melanistic, and honestly when it comes to albino, there's not much we can say. It is a normal albino that is completely white with some tints of pink as we see on other species. But in the case of the melanistic, although it is fully covered in dark fur, you can still see the stripes along the back. They are barely noticeable, but you can still see them. And even some shades of orange, if you pay close attention. So yeah, these tigers, with all their nice fur types, are gonna be simply amazing. And we can only wonder how often, how rare these are gonna be if only 16 tigers will be present on the map. Like, if their spawn rate is gonna be the same as the spawn rate of the rares of other species, then we can be sure that they are gonna be some of the rarest rares on the entire game, if not the rarest. Frankly, I have many questions about these tigers, like for example, how many males and how many females are there gonna be on the map? Like, is it gonna be 50-50? Are they gonna have drink zones? I don't know, but everything indicates that these tigers may become the rarest diamond in the game, because if they have no drink zones and half their population are females and the females are not able to make diamond, then they would become very rare. And in my opinion, that would be great. So let me know in the comments, guys, which of these fur types is your favorite. Personally, the one I like the most is the melanistic, because I've always been a huge fan of the mela animals on this game, and this one will be of course no exception, but let me know in the comments which one do you like the most. And also what you think about the fact that there are only gonna be 16 tigers per reserve.